In this lesson, we will introduce data persistence with the Java Persistence API and the Hibernate Object Relational Mapping tool with Spring MVC in our Jakarta JEE8 web application. These are the introduction overview points. We will look at what is data persistence. We will review what exactly is an object relational mapper. Then we will attempt to understand how the Hibernate ORM fits in with this. And then we will look at how to prepare our relational database to use with Hibernate and the Java Persistence API. We will look at what is data persistence, the definition of storing data in a durable medium, and the important highlights, preserve states, enable recovery from failures, and support long-term enterprise scale operations. The examples of user profiles in a database and of application settings or transaction records. After that, we'll look at what is an object relational mapper, which is a technique that bridges object-oriented programming and relational databases with the purpose of mapping Java objects to database table and reducing our SQL boilerplate code. The advantages of simplifying database operation, enforcing the object model and schema consistency, and boosts productivity. How it works is we use annotations for our POJOs. This support create, read, update, and delete into the database without manual SQL. Then we will dive deeper into understanding the Hibernate ORM, which is a Java-based ORM framework that implements the Java persistence architecture. It abstracts database interactions for working Java objects. The key features is automatic mapping via annotations or XML to the tables. It has its own query language called HQL, and it does have native SQL support. It does caching for first and second level caching of our data for better performance. It does lazy loading, so we can specify when we want to load the data. The overall architecture consists of a core, session, transaction, query, and configuration, and it's configurable via a old style XML or with annotations in our Java code, like it does entity, ID, and generated value. And it does work with various Java persistence architecture providers. And we will look at preparing our database, which is MariaDB in our case. We already went through this, but we'll do this again. We'll download and install the latest stable release, and we set up a root password and optionally enable auto start. Once we've done that, we will verify our MariaDB installation from the command prompt by logging in as root. We'll check our version, we'll create a test database, and we'll look at the tables, and then we'll do some additional configuration so that we can access it from Tomcat. Lastly, we will look at our new Maven dependencies, which we will introduce for the Java Persistence API, for the Hibernate core dependency, and for our MariaDB JDBC driver, and our optional schema generation plugin. We will add it to our POM, and we will run Maven clean install. We can also look at our persistence XML, where we define the database connection and set the Hibernate dialect. Now we'll go to the MariaDB website, select download, and we'll select the version we want is 10.5.27. Our operating system is Windows. We got the 64-bit architecture, and we're downloading the MSI package. Save it, and then the MariaDB gives you an option here to register. So let's go to the downloads directory. We click on it, say next, and I've already installed that, so we can walk through the change option. Look at the database options, client programs. We select all the defaults here, like next and change, say yes, and finish. And then if we want to test our installation, we go to the command line to where we have installed it, enter the root password, and it gives us the welcome, and we can type in help. And here is all the command line help that we can use. So we look at the version 10.5.27. We'll create a test database. We see it's created, so we'll use it. And we'll show the tables. Empty set because we haven't created any. Now we'll go to Eclipse and quickly review the setup of our JDBC data connection. We select a generic JDBC connection. We enter the URL and the username and password. We test our connection and we see ping succeeded. We'll save the password and say finish. And that concludes this tutorial. I will see you in the next one.